turn right. Go, baby, go. Don't you curse tonight. As a Brady, the boss man is less than me. Oh dear, let's go racing. Coding up with all the graphics. Jeff Merck pulling all the facial reactions. Jordan is spoken like D.D. Folio AC. And subscribe, so to see the unicorn that Murph and magically make. Don't you believe in unicorns? Do we want Barney? Barney, it's time to wave the flag. Green flag, go black, go, go, go. What do you want, Orbain?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, North Wilkesboro, the historic short track up in North Carolina, is the site of the Brickyard 200 for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Want to real quick give a quick plug on that. Concerns of Police Survivors. This is National Police Week. So thank each and every one of your men and women in blue when you get a chance this week. Thank them so much for everything that they do, and also the Concerns of Police Survivors, that organization, for what they do. And folks, it's going to be a good one here tonight. I got a feeling we're going to end up having a little bit of beef here this evening. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, the chef, Morgan Cook, in the house, and also the Australian Dean Hopton Biggles on production. Morgan, buddy, I'm sorry I was out Monday, had a little bit of work that I had to take care of for my real job, but I'm happy to be back here with Nazra. Obviously, Kansas all-star race last week. MDW tried to go for 3 in a row this week at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, and this is one of the most difficult racetracks that there is in North America, with the two completely different elevation straightaways. One goes up, one goes down. The corners here are different radiuses. They behave differently. You have to diamond both of them. There's really only one fast groove. The list goes on and on. It's going to be hard to pass here tonight. It's going to be hard to keep it on the racetrack, and tempers will absolutely flare at the short track in North Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a little bit of beef last week at Kansas with Tristan Bruce and another driver. We'll see how that ends up playing out here at Lucas Lyons. So that'll be interesting to see what happens here tonight at Wilkesboro. There's your points. Top 6 there, and it got wins. They're locked in. Tristan Bruce, talked about him, up to 126 above the cut line. You look all the way down to where Matthew Lee, Robbie Richards, Matthew Montgomery, Jeff Merck, one driver we really need to be watching out for, defending or past champion here on the Friday night series, 17 points down, and Lucas Lyons right there, as well as James Beard, Cody Knott. These guys below that cut line, they're going to have to figure something out here very soon because the season is very, very fast approaching to the end of the regular season. But let's get you fired up, get it lined up here tonight for the grid for the Brickyard 200 here at North Wilkesboro for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Dustin Scruggs in the 11, running a paint scheme that we will show later on here tonight in tribute of a friend of his, of another friend that having cancer. It's a tribute paint scheme for his buddy that ran a car in the Dirt Series. He'll be starting on the pole here tonight. Tristan Bruce with that beef. Lucas Lyons, he'll start on the outside of row number 1. Adam Newton will roll off from P3 with Brandon Schumann in P4. Mr. Sacco, Nick Sacco, will roll off P5 with John Freeman, the new guy. We could call him the new guy, but be honest with you, hell, he's doing it. Yeah, well, yeah, more or less, but I mean, he's doing good, literally out of every one of them. So he's kind of racing like a veteran. He'll roll off for P6. Tidy Horse, Ryan Johnson's going to roll off P7. Keith Haney's going to roll off P8. James Beard's going to roll off P9, and Matt Cherry will round out the top 10. Brandon Broadfoot and Isaac Bevan, the top 12.
13th will be Cody Knott in the 26 machine. 14th will be Jeff Merck. We talked about him quite a bit in the opening. 15th, Buzzy Mongold. 16th will be Dane Hagen. 17th, Huck Wigington. 19th will be Devin Painter. Got some messed up there a little bit. 18th, Painter. 19th will be Stephen Thomas. 20th will be Lucas Lyons. Jose Rivera will be in 21st. 22nd will be Matthew Cummins. 23rd for Matthew Lee. 24th for MDW.
And then right behind MDW, there you see Jose Luis Rivera, Matthew Cummins, Matt Lee, driver on the outside right there as well. Obviously, Luke Smith, MDW, like you were talking about, Matthew Montgomery, Robbie Richards, Brandon New, Raul Meza, and Ed Osborne back there in the back. TJ Moore is your race director. If we can, real quick, while these guys is under pace laps, I was talking about this just a second ago with Dustin Scruggs. As we see right there with our race details, we'll check that out real quick. Going to 50, 100, there's your stages. Then we'll go all the way to 200 for the Brickyard 200. 5 sets of tires, 75% fuel capacity, unlimited green, white, checkered attempts. Dear God, I hope we do not be here till midnight. And then obviously time of day is the morning. There you see Dustin Scruggs right there on the front row. Talked about it. A good friend of his, is having cancer, battling cancer. That is a paint scheme of what his buddy was racing. That real paint scheme was a number 6, but obviously Dustin Scruggs running the number 11 here this evening. So that's a big deal on that. And then also you look at some of these other drivers like Adam Newton, one of those drivers back here, Devin Painter, Huck Wigington, all these guys obviously running the C.O.P.S paint scheme. You see Adam Newton right there in the 19 with the C.O.P.S paint scheme on there for Police Week, National Police Week. So if you get a chance, by all means, definitely you want to go to policeweek.org. Go check that out. And obviously, big support for our men and women in blue in the greatest country. Sorry, Dean, the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Well, here we go.
Green, green, green.
Well, I forgot where he was at, I guess, but here we go. Green flag is in the air. We're racing on a beautiful Friday night here at North Wilkesboro. Scruggs down to the inside. Tristan Bruce had to start all the way back at the back. Brandon Schumann to the outside on this first lap.
We saw the 52 be pretty quick last week. He's showing it here again, qualifying up in the top 5 and starting on the outside of row number 1. Here we go down into turn number 1 here. Very difficult to get this thing to rotate properly. You really want to diamond the exit, almost get in the grass. Very difficult to run too wide on that part of the racetrack. And then down in turn 3 is the same sort of situation, just a little bit less of a diamond. That turn 4 wall comes up pretty fast, but everyone makes it through clean so far in this race.
Yeah, this is very, very cool to see this. Obviously, with the NASCAR Cup Series going to be here for the All-Star race this coming week. Kind of a little bit of a NASCAR kind of side-by-side is what we're going to be seeing. And just like that, somebody got side-by-side the wrong way, and we got a caution spinner in the back. One of those C.O.P.S trucks, the 99 Devin Painter getting turned around off turn number 2.
Tried to split the middle 3 wide, maybe not. 97 goes inside. This is coming to turn 2 here. Don't see anything as of this moment, and just yeah, it is about as grippy as a non-stick frying pan over there. Right in the center, on the exit of the corner, there's a bit of a dip, and it just spins so easily in that part of the racetrack. That's part of this. I believe the backstretch goes downhill and the front stretch goes uphill, if I'm not mistaken. And that really leads to an awkward exit out of turn 2.
Yeah, kind of a pain in the tail coming off of those corners here tonight at North Wilkesboro, but everybody got slowed down. Doesn't look like anybody's going to jump down pit road anytime soon. So while we got the opportunity, take a first quick commercial break on Police Week. Here with the concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro, getting ready for a restart. Pace truck now on the front straightaway. Will the pace lights go off? And they will. So Dustin Scruggs will lead them back for the very first restart of the evening. Brandon Schumann second, Adam Newton third. John Freeman will restart fourth, and Brian Johnson will restart fifth. Brandon Broadfoot started 11th. He's all the way up to sixth. There you see your stages. And I got to ask you this one right here, Morgan. I was talking to a couple of the drivers. They were talking about over or unders on cautions. Short tracks, we usually see a lot of them. We think we're going to see on the cautions here tonight.
Well, we've already had our first one. If we're including the stages, I think a nice round number would be 10 is probably what I think. I hope we hit the under, but I've seen a lot of short track races in my broadcasting time, and 10 seems like a pretty happy number.
Yeah, I've actually heard a couple of them was actually saying 15, not counting the stages. So we'll see how it works out. Up front, Scruggs went to the top, down to the inside. Brandon Schumann finds a hole down on the inside lane, tries to fire off. He will grab the lead, but just barely. Not clear yet. Scruggs on that top side working very hard. John Freeman going to follow Scruggs on that outside off 2.
So the outside really works well in turns 1 and 2. You can roll a lot of speed off the exit at 2. But it bites you right here out of turn number 4. The bottom is a little better unless you get pinched down like the 52 did right there. But look how much more entry speed the 11 is able to carry, slide up the racetrack, and still get it pointed on exit. And it's still only half a truck length between these front two. I don't think Schumann has ran a lap yet today where he hasn't been side by side with Scruggs. Obviously, that first run was these two were flipped, 11 on the bottom, 52 on the outside. But this time, 11 might just clear out of turn number 2.
Yeah, he's going to get that run off of the corner, barely able to, so Schumann will drop back in line. Now side-by-side battle with Newton and Freeman. Newton and Freeman come close a couple of times already in this past handful of laps since this restart. Damn near door banging. There's some door banging. Newton overshoots the corner, slides up, gets into Freeman, knocks him almost sideways. Scruggs, Schumann trying to get away. Newton wanting to get this third spot, but Freeman, he ain't giving it up.
And you're definitely not going to want to burn up the tires here. This is we are leaning on each other here for third spot. You do not want to burn the tires up. This is a egg under the throttle pedal. Oh, we're toward each other again. Almost left hooked him. Did the 19 to the 45. You do not want to wear the tires. I'll say it for a third time. That's what I'm stop talking now. That's it. Don't wear the tires out.
Yeah, don't wear them out and don't wear out the doors is what we're looking at. Newton has already door banged with Freeman numerous times already. Damn near left rear hooked him a while ago. Tiny horse, Ryan Johnson, he's got a front row seat at every bit of it. Newton not going to door him this time. Freeman not giving it up. Johnson right behind them. Broadfoot still up. 5 spots from where he started, from the 11th spot up to 6th. But now you see this outside lane. Looks like it's going to advance with Freeman. He will get clear. Now front 6, single file. Matt Cherry back here trying to latch on, but front 6 trying to get away.
And you're just trying to ride at this point in the race. We got to go to lap 50 for our first stage. We're only at lap 16 now. The truck's going to take a big swing at some point in this run. You probably want to be single file when it does that, because you'd hate to sail it off into the corner and go, uh-oh, it's loose now. Now you got to save it up into the guy on the outside. Usually you won't make many friends that way. But this is typical short track racing as Richards is around.
Robbie Richards, 48, going around. We'll bring out our second serve pro caution of the Brickyard 200. And we'll see what happens to old Robbie Richards. Was there help? Did he get set around? Did he get loose? Something happened with old Robbie Richards. You see Sacco and others right here in front. He's coming off turn 4, excuse me. Worked their way down into 1 and 2. We'll get an idea of what happened right here. That was Sacco and Cummins. Cummins, the one on the top side. Oh, Cummins comes down, gets Sacco. Richards has to get out of the gas, and Kermit, Luke Smith, drives it right up his tailgate. Hits him so hard, knocks him down to the inside guardrail.
Yeah, these incidents happen fast at this racetrack. Probably didn't see the 48 slowing up. Didn't see the truck hit the outside wall. It is camouflage after all.
Whoa. Damn.
Yeah, exactly what happened is you called it right there, Jake. Just 48 lifted, 38 didn't see it, and got in the back of him, and around goes Richards, although the damage was minimal, I believe, to both the front and back as well. This place isn't terribly aero dependent, so as long as there isn't any suspension damage or radiator damage, you should be just fine to continue.
Yeah, I mean, and usually, we've seen it here in times, Morgan, with some of these wrecks that we see here at these short tracks like North Wilkesboro, Martinsville, tracks like that. Usually when they have wrecks, we're seeing Matthew Cummins coming down pit road, obviously from that contact with the wall. But usually when we see wrecks here, usually nothing's too tore up. You may have a little bit of a fender bender. You may have a headlight knocked out. Obviously, they don't run headlights on these trucks. But, you usually don't see nobody get a straight-up meatball flag unless they're sitting literally on the back stretch or on the front stretch, and somebody's just coming off, literally bouncing off the chip and just goes in there and nails them. That's usually the only time you're going to see a meatball flag. So we'll see what happens. Cummins 2 laps down now. Like I said, like we was talking about, going all the way to lap 50. It will be your first stage. So Scruggs trying to get to 50. And here we go. Green flag back in the air. Schumann did not get a good restart. Scruggs got a fantastic jump. Newton lined up right on the back end of Schumann. Brandon Broadfoot, how do you do, sir? Around the outside, he'll go up to 4th.
Big move for the 22 early in this restart zone here. Able to get up to the 4th spot. Freeman still hanging tough there in that mellow yellow machine. Big block for the 22 right in front of the 45. Chopped the nose a little bit. 38 of Ryan Johnson trying to take advantage of the slip up a little bit of the 45. He's going to roll the high side here and try and get another spot. It's been a fun one so far at Wilkesboro. This is exactly what I expected. And these drivers are driving the wheels off of these things, trying to get up to the front.
Yeah, a lot of them trying to work their way up there. And one we were talking about a second ago was Brandon Broadfoot working his way up to the front. A couple of them actually getting up into the fence right there. That's Dane Hagan at 39 up on the high side. But Broadfoot, we saw it a second ago. You were talking about it, Morgan. Jumped down and got right across the nose of Freeman. And you can only do that so many times because eventually you're going to jump down across somebody's nose. And eventually they're just going to say the hell with it. They're not going to lift. And they'll run you slap over, and you'll go all the way from 4th, 5th, go all the way back to around the 28th spot after you end up going around.
Yeah, that's a case of you got to know who you're racing against. And if you don't trust the guy that you chop their nose, you're probably going around. But if you trust them, if they're a clean driver, they'll probably give you the spot, or they'll at least be able to react fast enough to not dump you. Where some guys, you chop their nose off thinking that they'll lift, and they just don't realize that you're going to do that until you've already got spun around and hit by a few other drivers behind you. We are racing back here in the backside of the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of them basically racing and looking like they're under pace, if you will. MDW got a little bit of weather report going on up there at the top. We are hearing, obviously, if any of you are in the area of some storms, I believe it's up there around the Kentucky area. If I'm not mistaken, Morgan, you probably got a better idea of it, of where some of the storms are going. But MDW has been declared more or less the weatherman. MDW Matthew, the weatherman David Wood, as well. Wood getting loose talking about him right here. But he is more or less the weatherman of the C.O.P.S Truck Series, always keeping up with the weather and trying to keep up and trying to keep everybody safe, which is always a good thing.
Yes, that is a great role to have, is to be the one trying to keep everybody safe. But on the racetrack, he's just trying to get up to the front, as this whole group has been stuck behind the 23 and the 39. They were side by side for a while. Now they're not side by side, and Matt Lee is just trying to find a way around Dan Hagen, who was kind of slowed this whole outside line. You can see about 9 trucks just kind of bottled up here, and there's nowhere to pass at this racetrack. We talked about it earlier. You just cannot get around guys here, as we're on board a second spot. Schumann and Newton going at it again.
Yeah, Schumann Newton going at it for that second spot. Schumann able to get clear and jump around up on the outside. Whoa, Schumann overshoots the corner by a mile. Will open the door for Adam Newton, and Newton will slide by. He'll grab that second spot. Here comes Tiny Horse on the inside. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson tried to go for third. Scruggs is checking out. He's loving every bit of it. Newton will get clear, gets second. Now it's Johnson and Schumann for third. It looks like Johnson's going to get it with ease.
I would expect Schumann to slide in behind the 38 here as we roll off at turn number 2. No real reason to fight for this spot. There it is. We can try and cross him over. No, he will not. Single file for your top 4, and they have broken away by 1.2 seconds, which is an eternity at this racetrack. It's about half of the straightaway, it seems like, is that gap from 4th back to 5th. John Freeman. It's so far so good there for the front 4, but again, stage coming up here in about 15 or so laps.
Yeah, and it actually kind of looks like everybody's kind of calmed down back there in the back. We saw them right there coming off the corner. A little bit of side-by-side racing. One of those drivers that is in a little bit of a side-by-side battle is with his good buddy Tristan Bruce, we're seeing right here on the broadcast. Bruce shoves it in there, is able to make it stick. Bevan tried to follow him. Merck closed the door, and, Jeff, we talked about this a while ago with Jeff Merck and where he's at in the points. And he has got to have a good run. He's got to get some damn stage points tonight, because if he doesn't, he is going to be in a straight-up hurting. Merck has got to get some points. He's got to get back into the spot. He's got to get back to some winning ways. He just hasn't got there. I mean, honestly, he has been not relevant all season long.
Yeah, he had a shot at it in Texas a couple weeks ago, but obviously the fuel mileage not in his favor. Had a few other opportunities. Bristol was a good one for him until he had an incident that rendered him unable to finish that race. But right now he's running P11. Has got to, as you mentioned, got to pass Tristan Bruce here, get into the stage point conversation as they're still trying to dispatch the 23. He's hanging tough right now, but now he's rolling on the bottom here, and this group of faster trucks behind him is really hoping that he's able to get out of the way in the next 13 laps so they can get those stage points from him.
Yeah, and the stage points is going to be a straight-up premium, as now Murky's been kicked back to the 11th spot. Bruce was able to shoot by him. You see the battle going on right in front of him. That's Stephen Thomas on the inside. Bruce trying to work it up on that second lane. No, it's not going to work. Sir, pro caution back out. We got
Richards
a spinner
again.
back there in the back. Robbie Richards goes around yet again. And Robbie Richards from Gastonia, North Carolina, is not going to be happy about this. It's kind of a home race for him, and then Charlotte next week's a home race for him. This is not good right here for Robbie Richards.
No, this is the first incident that's happened off of turn 4, not off of turn 2. So we'll see what happened here. He's got Meza to the outside. Down on the bottom here, 3 and 4. Everything looks good so far. Yeah, just loose off the corner again. Just a little too much right rear into it. And Around he goes. That could be, as our producer mentioned here, it could be because that the spoiler's dented a little bit. You have a little bit less downforce on the back. That was obviously from the earlier incident where he got turned by Kermit there. But regardless, the 48 is probably going to get some damage repaired here. So we got some on pit road, some takers trying to potentially flip this stage. I don't know what the fuel number is. I would imagine somewhere probably around 95 to 100. So this will put you pretty close to a one-stopper to the end.
We'll see what happens. There's like a couple of them jumping down pit road and a couple of them going to stay out right here. So while we got that opportunity, we're going to line ourselves up with the ones that took the pit stop and take one with them real quick. Bring you right back here from North Wilkesboro. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Well, folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro getting ready and basically called it. There is your restart. Scruggs loving this right here. He has literally been lights out all the way from the drop of the green flag. And then little battle with Brandon Schumann at the front. It's Dustin Scruggs out front trying to get away. Adam Newton trying to get back clear of Brandon Schumann. It is a dogfight all the way back. Dustin Scruggs, honestly, Morgan, he looks like a state trooper on I-75. He's up front. Everybody else double wide. I mean, they honestly look like they don't even want to pass him.
Yeah, between that and there's really a few laps to go left in this stage. I mean, they're going to have to try real hard to get up there. I don't know if it's worth, putting yourself in a bad spot to try and go get that win right now of the stage, just considering how quick the 11's been on these restarts. Maybe get them on pit road, but we are jammed up around the 10th spot. I see Thomas back there. I see MBW to the bottom, almost in contact there with Bevan, as we're trying to fight for stage points here as we come down to the tail end of the season.
Yeah, and one thing about that is we are getting close to the end of stage one. We do want to remind you folks that this is the very first race in the Dash for Cash races. Obviously, 4 drivers, the top 4 finishers.
Oh, he got spun. The 23's around.
Got a spinner. Whew, Stephen Thomas going around, got spun. Elkview, West Virginia, not going to be happy about that one. And Morgan, you saw it right there. Stephen Thomas getting spun around, you called it.
Yeah, this was just a case of 2 drivers trying to go for the same spot on the racetrack. You see 23's up on the high side here. He's going to go down onto the corner, cut down on the corner here. It just happens to be right. That's where he got in the back of somebody. I think it's right here. He tries to go down to the corner. Bevan's already there, and there's nowhere for the 27 to go. And that's just a racing incident. Not much you can do about it. Not quite realizing where the inside car was in relation to your quarter panel and to the edge of the grass. And if the 27 goes down in the grass, they're both wrecked, and it's a much worse incident. So probably best case scenario there, all told, with how that one played out.
Very good possibility that this is going to end up ending stage number 1. But obviously here in Nazareth, you got to go all the way to lap 50. So if they pit right now, they're going to screw themselves out of stage points. So it doesn't look like anybody's going to jump down pit road, I would say, at least to the end of lap number 50. Like I was talking about a second ago, though, this is a Dash for Cash race. So the first 4 finishers from the All-Star race at Kansas last week, that being MDW, Ryan Johnson, Brady LaBeouf, and Stephen Thomas, they are eligible for a little bit of extra cash on that Dash for Cash. Well, Brady LaBeouf is not here. So I believe it would go all the way down to Robbie Richards sitting in 5th. I think he would get that waiver. Either that or it'd just be for the front 3. And I hate to kind of throw him under the bus right here, Morgan, but Robbie Richards is basically irrelevant at this point, even if he was in it. So really it's between MDW, Brian Johnson, and Stephen Thomas up here to get a win. And they just got to finish ahead of the other 4 drivers. And then when we get done here at Wilkesboro, the front 4 that finished tonight, they will be eligible for the Dash for Cash next week when we go to Charlotte.
You definitely want to get that little extra cash in your pocket, want to win that Dash for Cash here. And those 3, they're going to be fighting hard to get that money. And Richards too, of course. They're going to be fighting hard, those 4, to try and get that Dash for Cash money. As looks like we were about to go green, but this is going to be the stage. So give that one to Dustin Scruggs. Led almost every lap of that stage. I believe the 52 led a lap or 2. But dominant nonetheless from the pole for the 11.
Absolutely, but it looks like they're actually going to turn the lights out on the pace truck. So we will get a restart right here this next time, Brett. We would talk to Mr. Scruggs, but we're going to hold up on that and probably wait and see when the next caution hits, I guess, Morgan, before we get a chance to talk to him. But Dustin Scruggs will win stage number 1. Now we're going in to stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Scruggs, Newton, Johnson, Freeman, and Schumann, the front 5, hit the restart zone. We're underway. Stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. Scruggs on the top, Newton on the bottom. Scruggs will slide down to that inside lane. And now up top, John Freeman trying to work that outside lane. MDW trying to work his way up here, trying to go for 3 in a row. And Matt Cherry up here in this mix as well.
The driver I've got my eye on this run, 2 of them in fact, would be Jeff Merck and Lucas Lyons. They pit for tires about 10 laps ago, so they have about 40 lap fresher tires in the field. Caution is out, however, so we're not going to get to see those ones work at this point in time, but I'm curious to see how tires impact this race, as the fall off has been pretty severe, about 0.7 of a second from their best laps of the day.
Brandon New looks like he was the one that ended up going around, bringing out another Serve Pro caution. We see Brandon New running up on the top side. Got Buzzy Mongold, Stephen Thomas back there. There's Lucas Lyons, Jeff Mark, the ones you were talking about right then, Chef. And wow, I mean, he just ends up just sliding up. Might have hit the brakes a little bit too much. Ends up going around. Thankfully, nobody else gets into Brandon New, but it will bring out another Serve Pro caution. And while we got that opportunity, we got a couple of drivers jumping down pit road. Dustin Scruggs will lead them down. So we'll sit right here for a second, watch kind of what happens on this pit road, and then we'll have a word with Scruggs. But Morgan, this pit road is very, very unique. I mean, it's not that big.
No, it's narrow. The boxes are short. I thought the 3 almost missed the pit box there, right up the tailgate of the 11 from this angle here. But yeah, it's a difficult pit road to get onto. The entrance is difficult. The exit doesn't really exist. You kind of merge right back onto the racetrack. It's one of the very unique pit roads here. This is an old racetrack, and it's got some kind of old characteristics when it comes to how this pit road's laid out.
It absolutely does. And while we have the opportunity, let's slide up here and get a driver from Mission 1 Esports. Your stage 1 winner is Dustin Scruggs. Dustin, congratulations on that stage 1. Pretty much dominating fashion for you, sir.
Yes, sir. That's how you do it.
And, well, pretty much that's how you do it. I mean, you got nothing else to say about that. I don't blame him. But, Dustin, real quick, I heard about this, from Matt Cherry, obviously. Very, different paint scheme, a paint scheme that we usually don't see you run. Can you tell us a little bit about this paint scheme that you're driving here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to park the McConey setup shop. I love them, but I had to park it tonight, bring out this WP Camp & Sons truck paint job for my buddy Clint Camp. He's in a hospital battling cancer, and just figured a little bit of good luck for both of us tonight, and hopefully both have a good night and come out better on the other end. So.
Absolutely, and I believe every single one of us can agree with one thing, and we can say it live on the air. Cancer sucks. It always does, and it always will. Well, buddy, appreciate your time. Congratulations on that stage 1 win, and hopefully you, buddy, will be able to win that battle with cancer, buddy. Congratulations on stage 1.
And 4, thank you.
And with Dustin Scruggs, we'll slide him back down to Mission 1 Esports and side round they go. When they'll stop, hell, we don't know. It's unlimited green white checkers. If you love what you see, like and subscribe to the NASCAR 360 Racing Network as you're watching a side-by-side battle with John Freeman, Devin Painter. They're trying to run down Adam Newton off turn 4.
And this is where those old tires are really going to show up. If we get a long green flag run here, there's only about 8 drivers who have not hit the pit road yet. All the way back to, at this moment, Jeff Merck, who the first driver who has pit so far in this race. So we have a very interesting run setting up if we're able to go the rest of this stage all the way to lap 100. Find out, Jake. This is where you earn your money if you're a driver.
Absolutely, and there you see Jeff Merck riding on board with him, needing some points, needing some very, very bad. Jumping right up in behind Devin Painter. He's got Matthew Lee right in front of him. John Freeman trying to run down Adam Newton. Painter up top. Lyons there as well. Everybody's sliding, literally sliding into holes that are just not even there, Morgan. That's one of the crazy things about racing here at North Wilkesboro that I've watched, for past races all the way back to the 80s, all the way up to now, is these holes, honestly, they're too damn tight. And I could not slide one of these iRacing trucks into one of them holes just as good as they are. They're making it look easy. I would have already wrecked.
Yeah, it's almost like, it's going to sound weird, but kind of like Talladega, Daytona, where the hole opens up and you have to immediately take advantage of. You have to anticipate it exists as we got to spin on the racetrack. Oh, big parking lot there in turn number 4. But you got to anticipate where that hole is going to open up, and I don't think someone in this group was able to anticipate it quite properly.
No, they didn't. There you see Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. RJ ends up getting involved. Caution is back out. Cody Knott, a couple others had to slam on the brakes not to try to get in the middle of this. So we'll see exactly what happens. Was it RJ or was it up the hill?
MDW got him. Give him a big bump in the center. They saved it from there, so that wasn't the incident, of course, but he, again, dives to the inside. Oh, it's in front of him. Sacco got turned. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a stack up on the outside. Sacco and everybody kind of jacked up. Bruce looked like he might have got into Sacco, set him around. Tiny Horse jammed on the brakes, tried not to run over them. And Caution ended up coming out for that spin. Couple of them kind of had a little bit of a parking lot back over there in turn number 4. Once again, we see it. Thomas, Beard, all these guys up on the outside. There's Nick Sacco right there in the white and red truck. Tristan Bruce right behind him. There's Robbie Richards with that dented-in tailgate. Scruggs about dented it in even more. And there's the stack up. Sacco slammed on the brakes. Bruce wasn't able to jam on him fast enough. And there you see Tiny Horse go around. Not terrible contact, but it was bad enough right there. But like you were talking about, Morgan, this damage that these guys are getting, it's not going to be as bad as if it would, say, go to Charlotte, where we're going to be at next week, which is going to be straight up aero dependent for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, aero not a huge deal here. It's really just more mechanical grip that's important here, as Cody Knott does a pretty good job here of avoiding it. Yes, he does. Able to just bring it right to a stop, lose all the track position, but the truck is in good shape, the 26 is. And I'm not much of a short track racer. I haven't particularly done well on these circuits, but I am a little curious as to why you're trying to bump and run somebody out of the way for 25th. That's really what caused that incident, and we'll see if it continues here. Maybe some beef forming.
Yeah, very good possibility, and I'm sure after this is all said and done, we'll end up having some beef. Hey, by the way, real quick, before we get, actually, I'll tell you about it right here on the restart, but actually, screw it, we'll just wait on it. Green flag back in the air. Here's stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Adam Newton up at the front. Matt Lee up here. We're 3 wide. Jeff Marks sends it down on the bottom side. Morgan, this is something you usually don't see here at North Wilkesboro. 3 wide here at this short track. And Lee's able to get away. Freeman up top. Here comes Mama Merck's boy. Jeff Merck goes to 3rd. How about that?
That's what 40 lap fresher tires look like. The 60 and the 88 able to pin it to the bottom when everyone else has to slide up the hill. And here we go. They're going to move into 3rd and 4th here very shortly as they chase down Newton and Lee. Lee on those same tires as well, in fact. Just Adam Newton is on the old tires here of the leaders. So he's about to get ganged up on by these three behind him.
Yeah, and Adam Newton actually a previous winner in Nazareth on short tracks, won at Bristol. Granted, Bristol way different than this right here, but it is a short track, Morgan. It is a short track with that mentality. So Adam Newton up front where he likes to be, and now he's basically looking at those guys that's on fresh tires saying, come get you some, come chase me. And it looks like it's hard for him to run him down. I mean, he's about a half a second over him right now. Adam Newton has some grip in that number 19 C.O.P.S Toyota.
Absolutely. Clean air, even though we talk about how this place isn't aero dependent, clean air and being able to see your marks without having other trucks around you, massive benefit at short tracks. These are such rhythm racetracks where you kind of get in that same rhythm over and over and over again that it makes you really difficult to pass here as Lee's going to get right up to the back bumper. The fresh tires now kind of showing their worth at the moment. But as they always say, catching them's one thing, but passing them's a whole other story.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a short track, Morgan. Usually we see the bump and run or dump and run, as we've said in the past. Lee may be trying to go for that little bump and run. Barely, if any, contact with Adam Newton, but he will get down to the inside of the number 19 of the Bulldog, Adam Newton. Here comes Lee. Merck not too far back of him, side by side, almost some door banging for the lead at the line with 74 laps in. We got 25 left here in stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Jeff Merck gets loose behind him.
Yeah, big moment there for the 60, able to save it. Caught the wall a little bit, but no damage on that machine. Lions to the inside here. That's going to move the 60 back from 3rd to 4th, although the battle is not over yet as they catch Newton. Lee obviously is going to take the lead here on those fresh tires and see if he can set sail. Oh, Merck's around. Lucas Lyons got him.
No.
Oh, good save by the 60. Caution is out. Wow. What a save by Jeff Merck.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. We got beef right here, Joe. I think we got a little bit of beef right there out of all that right there, Morgan. I mean, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be some beef out of that? Because, I mean, obviously, Jeff Merck and Lucas Lyons, they more or less pitted with one another. Obviously, they're not on the same team here, but contact right here? I mean, is there beef right here?
I'd have to see it from a different camera angle here. From the in-car of Merck is difficult to tell, but if we can get a shot out of the car here from the blimp would be good. I don't know if that's... I don't think it's intentional by any stretch. I think that's really another racing deal. We saw it earlier with, I think, Bevan and Thomas when one kind of went to the bottom further than one expected here, but Lyons is still there at this point. He was clear a little bit, and I mean... If you're Lyons, you're trying to get alongside Merck, and I don't think you expect him to come down the hill to take the bottom of the racetrack. And if you're Merck, you think Lyons is farther back because he got loose and he'd give the spot up. So it's a little bit on both of them for just not knowing who you're racing with on both parties. And that could have been handled better for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, it really could. There you see your points right there. Matter of fact, Lucas Lyons, Jeff Merck, both of them below that cut line to get into the playoffs. So, Morgan, I'm sure that had a lot to do with how aggressive they was racing back there. And certainly, I'm sure Jeff Merck will think about that, especially when he's going to be starting right there beside Lucas Lyons here for this restart. But you see all the points, see everybody in their positions from where they're at. This was the points as of right now, or actually as of before the race started. So that's where you see those points as of that. Morgan, I got to say this. Last episode of the Door Banging Download, Morgan, you were on that. Was so happy to have you on the show. It was a good one. You know, we didn't have an episode this week, but I will throw this out there real quick. I'll go ahead and throw my beef out for this week. It's got to be the ACM Awards. Morgan, I don't know if you're a big fan of country music. Any of you out there live or in the live chat fans of country music, but dude, they got to get this guy Jelly Roll out of this country music stuff. He is straight up screwing it up. That's my beef is Jelly Roll country music. They do not match. Green flag back in the air. Matt Lee will ease around that outside, obviously on the fresher tires of Adam Newton. Jeff Merck, not worried about Lucas Lyons. You better worry about him. Lyons not too far back. But here comes Murph. Here comes Lyons. They're trying to gang up on Adam Newton.
And the tire advantage still exists there for your top three. Newton obviously on the older tires. They stack up behind Painter. Remember, Painter was your first caution of the night here. He put some fresh ones on. Up to P5 is the 99 machine. So clearly some speed in that C.O.P.S number 99 machine as MDW dives to the inside. Tristan Bruce not too far behind him. We are having a good race here in North Wilkesboro.
And we're having a fantastic race in North Wilkesboro. You see the 99 up there. Obviously, you see Adam Newton, all these C.O.P.S trucks right here. Obviously, remember this week, if you get a chance, go to www.policeweek.org. Obviously, it is National Police Week, and they've had a lot going on this week and also here tonight with the concerns of police survivors for everything that they do. So go check them out. That is www.policeweek.com. And Adam Newton ain't worried about a web address right now. He's worried about somebody trying to go for 3 in a row. Here's Chef MDW has cracked into the top 5.
As Matt Cherry just went around, no caution out as he was in the grass. He's back to 28th position. Oh, we got Newton loose off the corner, 3 wide into turn number 3. Not going to work. That grass comes up quick. MDW slams on the binder. Somehow didn't spin that thing out. He is sideways off the corner. But don't look now. You got Lyons and Bruce nose to tail on the high side. Remember, a lot of beef there last week. A little door banging action, a little retaliation. Maybe we see a little bit more here at Wilkesboro. Look at this. The 3 is right to the back bumper of the 88. That is not a good place for Lucas Lyons right now. Is anything going to come of it here?
Oh, boy, and our producers in our ear going, get him, get him, get him. You know, Dean's over there, get him. And there's a good possibility Bruce may get him or has nerves calmed down. I mean, because we got to worry about
parking lot.
Hell, there's where you're going to end up getting everything calmed down.
Oh, and we're still wrecking people.
Up.
Oh, my
still
goodness.
Wrecking.
Yeah, what are we doing here? My goodness.
Good.
Oh, that was the pace truck. Okay. I saw someone broadside Buzzy Mongol. Oh, Merc got turned. Oh, my goodness. Did Lucas Lyons just take the lead? What is going on here? I think Lyons just gained 3 spots. What is happening?
This is going to take a second for us to get this trying to straighten out. Right.
I feel like it started right here. 3 wide's not a good idea here, especially on old tires. Yeah, Beard got Haney. Haney got the 20. And then they all just start wrecking. Oh, News in it. Is that Broadfoot?
Hagen's in it.
Hagen. It's Hagen. And then made sure to get Buzzy Mongol on the way by. Just add 1 more to the count.
Yeah, but what's got me is what you were talking about right there for a second, Morgan. I mean, he just kind of came out of absolutely nowhere. The Jeff Merck, who was up here racing up here at the front, got involved in this as well. We're going to have to see that again and kind of see exactly what happens with Jeff Merck and see how he gets involved in this.
Merck is back up to 2nd, by the way, so I don't believe he's going to lose all that track position. This was under caution, but what happened is the leaders caught up, and the 20 was still broadside across the race. Maybe it was Buzzy. It was still broadside across the racetrack, and they had to slam on the brakes to avoid running into the side of that broadsided car. I think he got hit from behind. See, they're still on the racetrack right here. He hits the brakes, and he gets baboofed right there. Around he goes.
Adam Newton, 19 gets him right here. There's Newton right there, just not expecting it. Nails him right in the tailgate. Well, I'll say this, folks. I think the Blackstone has been fired up here tonight. 9 ways to Sunday. We have got beef all over.
Are we talking
North
hibachi
Wilkesboro.
beef tonight? Oh, my goodness. Fancy beef.
Redneck hibachi. That's what we got right here. We got redneck hibachi beef all over North Wilkesboro. But they did let Merck jump back up here, which I agree they should have. He was not involved in the caution. He's just trying to make sure he didn't T-bone somebody that's still on the racetrack. But here we go. Getting ready for a restart with 10 laps to go in stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Lee up top, Merck on the bottom. Now, here it comes on the outside. Lucas Lyons in the 88 and dives down to the inside. He's trying to go after Matt Lee off turn 2.
Now for the first time in this race, The 44, 88, and 60 do not have the new tires at the front of the field. Give those to the 11 of Dustin Scruggs. Only pit 36 laps ago. That's 15 lap pressure tires in the drivers in front of them. And remember, that 11 has been bad fast. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and your Stage 1 winner, showing up just in time to try and get some more stage points here for Stage 2.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see right here with Dustin Scruggs back up here at the front. Will he be able to get something done? MDW right behind him, like we talked about a while ago, going for 3 in a row. Obviously won the past 2 races. He wins here at Wilkesboro tonight. He will go 3 in a row. Still got the weather, obviously. I'm sure he's probably chiming out in the race chat, letting everybody know what the weather is. Scruggs may be worried about a little bit of, I guess you could say, a big old thunderstorm right behind him. So Scruggs better watch his weather report, because MDW is hot on his heels, and so is Tristan Bruce.
A lot of fast trucks here in this top 5 as they have pulled away just a little bit from Bevan. It's about 4 truck lengths back to him. Merck running behind that machine, and Matthew Montgomery right behind them. Remember, Montgomery, Merck, and Lucas Lyons all trying to fight for that final transfer spot in the points here. Having a good day are all 3 of them up here in the top 8 for those 3 drivers.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job getting those points like we were talking about. Only a couple more weeks before we go playoff racing. Here with the concerns of Police Survivor Truck Series riding on board MDW. I got to tell you right now, Morgan, I mean, that right there is a killer little setup that Wood has got right there. I wouldn't be watching the weather. I would actually have the Atlanta Braves game, yes, I would have the Atlanta Braves game on right now if it was me. At least that's how I would do it. But I guess Wood might have looked up and saw the weather right there, and he overshot the corner, slid up the hill. Bruce down to the inside. Now Wood having to rip the top, which is a line here, believe it or not, folks, here at this short track. You can't run the top side here in North Wilkesboro. It looks like Wood is running it to perfection.
Yeah, he's able to get a really good run off the corner here. He's going to clear the 3 easily off of turn number 2. He's going to do the same thing down here in 3 and 4, try and get around the 11 machine. But if you catch that outside wall, you just killed all the momentum, so you got to be very careful. And MDW is putting about as much of that truck against the wall as you possibly could here without hurting the machine, as we all look back from the back bumper of Matthew Lee to the rest of your field as he's gapped everyone here by about 0.6 of a second as we come to the last lap of stage number 2.
Yeah, and he's doing a fantastic job. He will end up taking the white flag here for stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Matt Lee started 23rd in the field. Lucas Lyons started 20th in the field. He's up to 2nd, but Matthew Lee will get the honors of winning stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic for the Brickyard 200 at North Wilkesboro. Matt Lee hits the line, and caution will soon be to come out. And there it is, the Serve Pro caution. So Matt Lee will win stage number 2. Lucas Lyons, Dustin Scruggs, MDW, Tristan Bruce, the top 5. Isaac Bevan, Jeff Merck will get him a couple of stage points. Lyons got more, but Merck will get 7th. Matthew Montgomery, Luke Smith, and Mr. Sacco, Nick Sacco, will get the final stage point here for stage number 2. There you see all the cautions, all that good stuff. Lead changes. Matt Lee is the leader. And while we have the opportunity, they're getting ready for some pit stops. We're going to take one with them. Bring you back to Matt Lee here at North Wilkesboro. Don't go anywhere. Folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro. I was talking a little bit of baseball right there under the commercial break. If you haven't yet, I do advise Morgan and Dan and everybody else, if you haven't yet, I did actually do a little baseball video, doing a little broadcasting over a baseball video game, MLB The Show. You get a chance, go check it out on TikTok, Redneck Announcer 57. I got a feeling each and every one of you will love it. but I wouldn't show it to you kids. Here we go with Matt Lee over there from Catch Fence Motorsports. Got the stage 2 win. Matt, awesome run, baby. If you got something right there, that 44 here tonight.
Yeah, I think we got a good shot as long as I can keep the right rear on it. Had a couple close calls there. I just, pushed too hard on the exit. Other than that, it's... Yeah, I think we can take care of the tires here. Play the right strategy with them.
Do you think more it's going to be more about taking care of the tires or more or less surviving? Which one do you think is going to be more... which one's going to be more?
That's hard to say here up the front. I mean, it's kind of the field's flopped here a few times. Unsure of who's gonna be players here at the end of this. I think that it's all a big game.
Good luck here,
Matt. Good luck, buddy. And I'm happy I kind of kicked him out of there because the leader did not go, and Lee jammed him straight into the tailgate. So if he ends up overheating, I guess he can blame that one on me, Morgan. That may be my fault, but Lucas Lyons around the outside. He will take the lead. Scruggs trying to get rolling right here. Isaac Bevan, Matt Lee up here in the top 5.
I don't see any damage off the front bumper of the 44 Matt Lee, so he should be okay in terms of overheating. I wouldn't think that's going to be too much of an issue here at Wilkesboro anyway. But yeah, that's a tough break. Restarting in third, leader does not go. Double Zero's already all the way back to 20th position, just has not been able to find his footing here on this restart. And he's getting swallowed up here by the field as Lyons, for the first time today, is going to lead some laps in front of Dustin Scruggs. About 3 truck lengths separate your top 3.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it could have actually went worse right there for Matt Lee. Actually, I was in a race one time at Daytona, and I had my buddy starting right in front of me on the inside, and he missed a shift, blew the engine, and I ran straight into the back of him, and I ended up blowing my engine. But that was Daytona. This is Wilkesboro. Obviously, the speeds are a lot different than what they would be at Daytona. There's Nick Sacco trying to ease up through the field right there in a little bit of a battle for the 8th spot. Nick Sacco to the bottom, Stephen Thomas up top, Jeff Mert right there in front of them, Montgomery behind them. There's Tristan Bruce. And Bruce going to jump down to the inside. Isaac Bevan, that's the battle for third.
And a good, back to Sacco, great rebound. Remember, he was around over in turn number 4. He's up to 8th now. So of the drivers who have had incidents so far today, him and Jeff Merck are leading the way here, 7th and 8th. Obviously, Merck caught up in that incident as coming back around as one of the leaders getting spun off the front bumper of Newton. But those 2 drivers able to keep those things pointed in the right direction for the most part and have a good run here. Stage number 3, this is the longest one of the day, should be able to make it to the end on fuel, although we're going to find out, won't we, Jake?
Yeah, we'll find out here. I'm very, very sure here in the short amount of time. We do want to kind of give you a little bit of a rundown on where your favorite driver's running, kind of, I guess, the biggest movers and the biggest losers, if you want to put it that way. Lyons, one of the biggest movers, up 19 spots. Started 20th. He is leading as of right now. Matt Lee started 23rd. He's up to 5th. Kermit, Luke Smith started 25th. He's up to 6th. And let's see, obviously Matthew Montgomery started 26th. He's up to 10th. Some of the biggest losers right now in the field, one of them, John Freeman, started 6th. He is all the way down to 24th. Adam Newton started 3rd. He was up there running at the front trying to get him a stage win. He's back in the 19th spot. The tiny horse Ryan Johnson, we saw him up there battling for a podium spot, Morgan. He's all the way back into 17th spot. So it's amazing how things can change in the blink of an eye, especially here at a short track like North Wilkesboro.
And these 3 blue trucks you see on your frame, MDW, Tiny Horse, and Newton, they have been fighting each other very hard. We saw a couple laps ago, MDW is over in the grass off of turn 2 trying to keep that thing pointed in the right direction. They are struggling back here just in front of the top 20. Oh, there's a truck around. That's Broadfoot. Goes around. We stay green for the moment. He's going to stop it on the racetrack, though. Bring out the caution. That's race control. I'm sure will love that one. But round was a 22 nonetheless. Might have beef up here in the booth. I'm not sure, Jake.
I think so. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I mean, you never want to see that. You never want to see people stop on the racetrack, bring out a caution. But I mean, I mean, I guess they got that right, Morgan. I mean, obviously, but I'm not race control, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it will take you off, especially, when it's something like that right there. I mean, it's a self-spin, you lose it, you spin around, you try to get it straightened back out, and then you end up stopping on the racetrack, and it brings out a caution. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Morgan, I mean, what do you think? I mean, is that a good look or is that a bad look? What is it?
As a driver, that's a tough look. I mean, spinning happens. I get it. I mean, it sucks. And you don't want to, I mean, I'm not saying pull out in front of the field. That is not what I'm saying. Don't be that guy. But if you can help it, do all your reversing on the grass, not on the racetrack. And you should be able to roll off of the grass with enough speed to not trigger the caution, or just go straight to pit road. If you're really worried about triggering that caution, roll pit road speed and then come back out off pit road so you don't end up wrecking into turn number 3. But the damage is already done at that point, and obviously here we are under caution now for, I believe, the 10th time here tonight, which was exactly the number set at the top of the show. So we're gonna have to stay right here, or else obviously I'm gonna bust on this one. So we can do 80 laps, Dean. I have faith in him.
We'll see what happens. Do want to give a quick shout out to some of you out there in the live chat. Angus, I ain't got a clue what you're getting at right there. SSS and then a bunch of X's. I have no idea. Matt Cost obviously said Bruce. Dean, we're not saying that on the air. And Joshua Suss, I'm assuming that's who it is. Suss. No, you didn't say that. Such Racing what was with the random floating lady in the infield? Dean, what? Or Morgan, what? There's a random floating lady in the infield, Morgan. I mean, what's he talking about? Because I have no idea about this.
I did see some small hot air balloons earlier. I didn't see a floating lady. It's been an interesting time here at Wilkesboro. So you can still see the 76 pylon as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we got the drone. We're flying the drone here.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, look at that. That lady is she is levitating. My goodness.
We're gonna have to check in on her here in a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check in on her and see if she deflates back down to the ground.
Are you okay?
I am shocked. Green flag in the air. Lions able to jump away. Bevan, Dustin Scruggs right there on the inside trying to go for second. Tristan Bruce trying to fire off away, and I'm still trying to find that levitating lady on the infield. I'm trying to find her on my style over here.
Oh man, this is Nazareth 360 Racing Network. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel where we find people floating and levitating in the infield. Lucas Lyons leads here over this excellent battle for second. Bevan and Scruggs. Scruggs won the first stage. Bevan's been hanging around the top 10 for most of the day. And like we've seen all day, you cannot pass on the high side or on the bottom here. That truck stays there. They will not get clear. And off of turn number 2, it's still half a truck length advantage to the bottom side of Scruggs.
Scruggs is actually running just a little bit better. He's going to be able to get that run, get clear of Bevan, but he's going to slide right up across his nose. Bevan's got to get out of the gas. That opens the door for Tristan Bruce on the inside. Nick Sacco now down to the inside. They're trying to work this line on the inside. Bruce may be thinking go for the twofer. He's going to go around Bevan, dump it down to the inside. He will get to the inside quarter of Dustin Scruggs.
So contact.
Bruce went after it. Contact behind them between Bevan and Sacco.
That was just about an accident. Bevan got loose. Sacco didn't quite realize it until it was too late. Fortunately, they're all able to keep it pointed in the proper direction. Oh, there goes Scruggs. Scruggs just got turned, potentially loose on his own into turn number 3. Regardless, all the track position that the 11 worked so hard for, it's gone now as he slides up into the turn 3 barrier.
And that's going to give us a Pulse Poppers instant replay. Morgan, you saw it all right there. I mean, hate to see it for the 11 of Dustin Scruggs, but did he get turned, or, I mean, did he just hit the brakes and just hit him at the wrong time right here? Yeah,
he just overshot it, just trying to roll the high side, try and carry that speed on the outside of Tristan Bruce, and rear tire said, I don't think so. You've crossed over the grip threshold, and around went the 11. I don't think the damage is all that bad. I don't think even the tire damage is all that bad, but regardless, track position is going to be the biggest hurt here for the 11.
And Morgan, I gotta ask you this because we've raced we've raced a lot of short tracks at our time. I've raced a lot of short tracks on here. You have as well.
Yep.
Do you think maybe it's the grip, or could it possibly be the brake bias? Because I've had my brake bias really low in these trucks, or in a late model or super late model or what have you. If we try to drop the brake bias as low as we possibly can to get the front to actually turn and be able to get the back end to kind of come around, do you think maybe it's because he's got the brake bias so low that's why the back end's coming around, that we're seeing a lot of these guys do that going into the corner? That it's the brake bias that's making them go around?
Well, brake bias is definitely a factor here. So what Jake's talking about is when is in these vehicles, you can adjust where the brake pressure goes. Does it go to the front tires? Does it go to the rear tires, or some combination of in between? So in the car, you have a 3% either way balance forward to back that you can play with under a normal run like this. So if your truck isn't turning into the corner, you want to dial some rear brake into it so that when you hit the brake pedal, it'll turn a little bit better, like Jake was talking about. And I think what happened there was he overshot just a little bit trying to roll more speed, and I think he was already on the edge of the brake bias, as we still find that lady floating. And that's just going to hurt the rear grip. The right rear tire won't grip up, and around it goes. So yes, a combination of low brake bias, but I think he also just tried to roll more speed than he had all day, and that just didn't quite work for him that time.
Dane, if you would have actually kept it at a certain camera angle, you could have actually had her standing on top of the power lines. Literally. I mean, it would have nailed it right on the money. Green flag back in the air. I might have to do a little Googling on this, figure out what that deal is, but green flag back in the air, Lyons takes away with the lead. Bruce trying to run him down. Remember, like we were talking about, Morgan, there is beef between Lyons and Bruce. Will this end up playing a factor for Tristan Bruce to try to get up here and get this lead, or is it going to come back to bite him in the tailgate and Isaac Bevan, next Sacco, be able to pounce because Tristan Bruce has got this all in his mind going after Lyons?
Yeah, I think Lyons is probably more worried about it than Bruce is. Remember, Lyons came back out on the racetrack after being damaged and took a shot at Bruce. So I don't feel like Bruce is probably the one who's worried right now. I think Lyons is the one who has one owed to him, as we got drivers. MDW still ripping that super high line there in turn number 1 and 2. 52's trying to take it away from him as they offset 3 wide, as Bruce gets right to the back bumper, and he is driving hard to get to Lucas Lyons. I would keep your eye on that battle for the lead. It's going to get wild here in just a moment.
Yes, it's already getting wild. I'm already seeing it right here as here comes Bruce to the outside, able to get to there. So Bruce will jump up on the top side, but have to back away. Inside will prevail, so Lyons will reassume the lead. He already had it, but Bruce up there made a challenge, tried to go after it. Bevan right here is latched on, trying to get up there and make something happen. Sacco back here as well. Bruce dives down to the inside, door to door. Bruce comes up, they door bank coming off further sideways, dirt tracking it off turn 4.
Yeah, they are driving the wheels off this thing. I don't think either of these guys want to get beat by the other. Bruce gives him a little bit of a tap in the left rear, trying to move him up the racetrack. Almost gave him another one on the exit. Yeah, this is short track racing at its finest right here, folks. As Bevan closes in, he's going to get right to the inside of Bruce, as that was a slow exit for your leaders. Now, Bruce to the high side, Lyons to the bottom. The high side prevail here off of turn 2. Drag race even into turn number 3, and back to Jake.
Yeah, and Bruce is basically trying to latch on. Looked like he was actually trying to wall ride it going down the backstretch. Don't know why you would do that. Bevan tried to jump up here on this mix. Sacco right behind him. Bruce trying to get a run up on that top side. Maybe been watching MDW, seeing what he's been doing for the past couple of times. Bruce wants the lead and takes it around the outside. Bevan tried to shove Lyons on the inside, tried to shove him up to the tailgate of Bruce. But Bruce will get clear. Tristan Bruce to the lead at Wilkesboro.
Yeah, Lyons tried to back up the corner in 3 and 4 last time, and the 27 didn't recognize it. Got all up into the back of Lucas Lyons. Did a great job to not turn him and not turn himself. It allowed Lyons a slightly better exit, but still not enough to go up there and get Tristan Bruce's. Where's 3 wide behind him? Oh, into the outside wall. I think that's Luke Smith just got put in the fence by the 52 machine. They're 2 wide behind him. I see David Lee using up. I think that's Robert Richards as well. Oh, there goes Lee. Lee's around.
Wow. More beef. We got more beef out here on the racetrack. Oh my goodness. Stage 2 winner presented by the Glass Mechanic. Matt Lee goes around, pulse bumpers, instant replay. And I'm sure he had a little bit of help. You talking about it, Morgan, right there with Robbie Richards in the 48.
That was the first contact I saw, was there off of turn 4. And then into 2 here, they're still leaning on each other. And they diamond the corner here. Richards kind of got loose into the outside wall, and then they couldn't save it back to the left. Around goes the 44. Yeah, that's a tough break. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do to avoid that if you're the 44. You just, guy on your outside got loose and got into you. I mean, you really can't do anything different than that.
That is unfortunate, but a lot of drivers went down pit road. Some of them actually stayed out. Brian Johnson, Adam Newton, drivers that stayed out. A couple of others did as well. Rest of the field went down and made a pit stop. So, folks, while we got the opportunity, I guess we'll go ahead. We'll take a little pit stop with them real quick and bring you back for a restart here in North Wilkesboro. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Well, folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro, getting ready for a restart. No, we're not. Actually, they doubled up and they threw me off. I thought they were going, but they're not. So now they're going to turn the lights out. Looks like we're going to get ready for a restart. Lap 145 of 200. So we got 55 more to go. There you see your pit strategy, stint links, all that cool stuff right there. Looks like Tristan Bruce is going to be in a pretty good spot. He's got the freshest tires. Maybe Devin Painter. Nope, don't see any blue in there for him. So Bruce looking like he's on the freshest tires. So we'll see how this works out for this restart. Johnson up on the top side. Adam Newton will be down to his inside. Scruggs has worked his way back up here with Devin Painter. And green flag back in the air. Johnson, big jump. Big old jump on the outside lane will allow Dustin Scruggs to try to get up here, and the 3 wide behind him are door banging off 2.
But here come the new tires on that 3 machine. Slides right to the bottom. Caution is out. Montgomery Lee's in it again. It's another parking lot here on the backstretch.
Oh my goodness.
Cody Knott's in it as well. Yeah, ever since we talked to Matthew Lee, it has not been a good time. So, Jake, you should apologize to the man after the race.
I will apologize to him right now because I don't want to talk to him at this point. Yeah, I'll apologize live on the air. I'll say it was my fault, I guess, to interview him. But there you see Matthew Montgomery. We'll see what happened with Montgomery. I don't know. He might have got it, but hell, he might have done it to himself. I mean, there you go. He ran him over.
Got a lot of help there. And then he got absolutely smacked by Beard. I have no idea where the 25 was going. But, yeah, the 44 started that all himself. I'm not sure what the issue was with the 24, but he gave him like 4 or 5 shots. And obviously, 24 spun in front of him, and then Lee had nowhere to go and got run over by Beard. So, yeah, I don't know what more to say about that than, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah, it is. And there you see the 44 right there. Matt Lee just jumps down, gets all over Matthew Montgomery, just does not let up on that 24, knocks him sideways, gets him literally all out of shape. little bit of a love tap, and Beard comes in. But one thing I do want to look at, if we can, is Cody Knott in the 26. We saw Lee shoot by him, and Cody Knott looked like he had an engine blown. Morgan, I mean, you heard me a while ago. I was talking about, it's hard for you to get a meatball flag on these short tracks. It's real hard for you to get a meatball flag. Well, Cody Knott just got one. So I'm curious to see exactly what happens to Cody right here as they come off of turn 2. There's the stack up. There you see the contact.
He hit the piece of the wall that juts in. Oh, you couldn't do that again if you tried to get spun and hit that particular part of the racetrack. A 90-degree hit straight to the nose off of Louis. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right there. Like,
Rivera's gonna get in it too.
Yeah, and Dane Hagen got it as well. I mean, you couldn't do that again if you tried. But I'll tell you what, my slowest engine blown moment was at Sonoma off the carousel, or not the carousel, off the chicane, and it blew the motor 35 miles an hour. So it happens.
Lord have mercy. Well, green flag back in the air. Tiny Horse is loving all this. He's loving these cautions because it may end up helping him stay up here at the front and have a shot to win here at Wilkesboro. If you love what you see, folks, like and subscribe to the Nashville 360 Racing Network. All our great sponsor and partners, you'll see all of them up there in the top right of your screen as you're watching Tristan Bruce try to run down Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. Johnson may be waiting for a caution. He may be sitting there and saying, please, God, somebody total the truck. And he got it. He prayed for it, and he got it. But it's Raul Meza that will not be happy about all that. And the Serve Pro truck goes around, gets the Serve Pro caution, the 14th one of the evening.
Yeah, I guess my 10.5 over-under was not the move here. Vegas will be very disappointed in me for setting that as the over-under. But here we go. We got Merck right behind him here. Up the racetrack, goes to 37. They're out 3 wide, and yeah, that's...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Merck got him. I don't know. That's a tough one. Again, that's another kind of racing incident, but if you're the 60, I mean, I think you're on newer tires. If you're Jeff Merck, probably just wait and get him in turn 3. There's really no reason to push that issue right there, and because if you're on the fresher tires like Merck is, you want the race to go green. You don't want restarts. And right there, he got another one. And that's probably going to hurt his march back up to the front here just a little bit more.
What do you think? Maybe that there's a possibility that Merck might have misjudged that right there. Like he was thinking he was just going to jump up and get on his tailgate, and
for sure.
He thought, he was just a little bit off, or he thought he was clear, but he wasn't. You think maybe that's what all that really was?
I think you also expect maybe the 87 and the 37 to go a little bit higher, like maybe a couple inches higher on the racetrack. Maybe you don't expect them to be too wide off the corner. I'm not saying it's Merck's fault by any stretch, but in that situation, I think you need to be extra careful to not bring out the yellow because it hurts you probably more than anyone else based on where you are on tire strategy. So, it's one of those deals. Racing incident. I don't think he meant anything by it. I bet that the 37 understands that there's no hard feelings. He didn't dump him on purpose. He didn't do anything egregious. He got into the back of him, and we talked about turn 2 already, how light the back of the truck is because you're going downhill. It's really easy to get somebody sideways in that particular part of the racetrack.
Well, there you see the rest of the regular season schedule. We're at Wilkesboro here tonight. Obviously, we're going to Charlotte, which will obviously be Memorial Day weekend, and then you go to Nashville Super Speedway, then to Michigan for 100 lapper. That will be the end of the regular season. Then Daytona, Pocono, and Lime Rock. Funny thing about Pocono, Morgan, I'll probably bring it up here in just a little bit. But funny thing about Pocono on June the 20th, we'll talk about that here in just a second. Green flag back in the air. Tristan Bruce on the bottom side kind of got jacked up from behind by Adam Newton. That's going to open the door for the outside. Here comes Lucas Lyons on the outside.
That great run again for the 88. Again, the first driver on those fresh tires trying to fight it out with Bruce. These two have the beef. They got sideways there off the corner. Someone just got moved. That was Scruggs, just got moved way out of line to the inside of the racetrack as we're still side by side for second. lot of tempers flaring here this evening in North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, and Johnson he's loving every bit of it. He don't want any type of beef thrown his way. He's just trying to hold on, get this lead, and try to go around at 20 seconds a lap for the next 40 laps and win this bad boy here tonight. Good possibility he might could do it with Bruce and Lyons racing their hearts out behind him. And I just thought I saw a spinner, and I was right. We got another third pro caution.
Yeah, Devin Painter around in turn 3 and 4. He was the first caution. He will also be the 15th caution of the day here today. See what happened to driver 99.
See if he got a little bit of help right here. You see John Freeman down on his inside. Yeah, maybe 3 wide working it back there. Some of them looking like they were going to go 3 wide. Sacco got up into the fence. There's Wood. And Freeman,
got loose,
just jammed on the brakes, come up and got him.
Yeah, he got loose, tried to correct it, did a great job of saving his own truck. Unfortunately, Painter was there, and minimal damage again to the 99, so I don't think it's really going to impact the truck too much. But you hate to see it. I mean, you're just minding your own business, and you get cleaned out here by driver gets loose. What was that, Dean? That was Mr. Freeman, the new guy, got into it. 42.
The new guy.
The new guy. It's only been like 12 races, but I mean,
he's going to end up.
He is in. Where is he? He is 10th, 11th now.
He's going to end up sending one of us a message and be like, y'all call me new guy one more time, we're going to have a problem eventually. But I've never talked to the man, never talked to John Freeman, but he has surprised me a lot here in Nashville with some, the skills that he's got. But I mean, that right there, I mean, it's like you were talking about, Morgan, that right there, it happens. That's gonna happen. But Freeman does get the EOL, but I mean, it just happens.
Yeah, if Painter's not there, he saves the truck anyway. So it's not like he was out of control. He slipped a little bit, and obviously that caused the contact. But all in all, it's really like marginal contact. It just kind of happened in a bad spot on the racetrack. So no harm, no foul there. I even think the 99 would probably feel the same way as he falls back to 19th. One back from where he started, 18th for Devin Painter. We're about to go green here. 16th time today.
Yeah, let's see how this ends up working out. See if this is our last caution. Remember, Tristan Bruce on a little bit fresher tires than Tiny Horse Ride Johnson. Johnson jumps down right across the nose of Tristan Bruce. Lyons lined up right in behind his good buddy Tristan Bruce. And then you got the Bulldog Adam Newton on the outside. And then MTW working that inside. Newton up top. Wood trying to claw his way back up here and possibly get 3 in a row, which is something that is, honestly, it's rare here on the Friday Night Series. Good possibility. Up front, though, Tristan Bruce has jumped down to the inside of Tiny Horse.
Going to be track position race from here on out as Lyons is about getting moved behind him by, as you mentioned, the Bulldog. Mr. Newton there just gave the 88 a shot. Still side by side for the lead. I think Bruce is going to get him into turn number 3 here. Should be able to do the slide job on the 38 machine. Yes, he will clear. New leader Tristan Bruce with the fresh tires. Under 50 laps to go, and the caution's out. Buzzy Mongold, I believe, involved in it.
I believe that is the 18th caution, if I'm not mistaken. Is that
16th?
18th. 16th. Okay, got my numbers mixed up. The numbers were a little bit smaller on my end. But 16th. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. There we go. 16th caution for 59 laps here this evening. And, oh, wow. Front 3's going in for Pitts. But we'll see it once again right here with Buzzy Mongold end up going around. Was there contact? Did he jam on the brakes? Did he just slide up and get loose right here, Morgan? Only time will tell. We'll see it right here on Point Spot Presents the Replay.
He sails it off into the corner. Yeah, he just missed the corner entirely. Got into the side of the 87, and the Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he missed that by a good 5 truck lengths. So, yeah, like another weird one. This has just been a kind of a weird race here at Wilkesboro tonight.
It absolutely has. Looks like Lucas Lyons is going to stay out on the racetrack. Couple of drivers elected to go down pit road. So Lucas Lyons, Nick Sacco, and Kermit, Luke Smith, they're up at the front 3. Schumann, Broadfoot, the top 5. Going to take a quick commercial break. Bring it right back here in North Wilkesboro. Don't go anywhere. Oh, we're back here at North Wilkesboro. We're back here at North Wilkesboro. Lucas Lyons, Nick Sacco, Luke Smith, Brandon Schumann, Brandon Broadfoot up here in the top 5. Matt Lee, Jeff Mark up here sitting in 7th. Matthew Montgomery, Devin Painter, and Raul Meza. Everybody's literally had some kind of issue here this evening. Everybody has. But who's going to be the one to not have to worry about the issues at the end? Green flag once again back in the air. Lucas Lyons, gas up. He's trying to get away. Taco now trying to give chase. He's up into the fence, riding it, going down the backstretch. Goes into 3. Here comes Matt Lee and Kermit down on the bottom side as well with Schumann.
The drivers to watch here at the closing laps of this race. On the newer tires, Matt Lee, and the caution's out again, so tires not really mattering at this point. Oh my goodness. We also got James Beard with some heavy engine damage as well. Maybe 2 separate incidents here, but yeah, MDW caught up in this one. That is not good for the 3-peat.
Yeah, 3-peat's probably out the door here this evening. James Beard looks like he has blown up. That will be a meatball flag. He will possibly be done for the evening in the 25. Boy, oh boy, another serve pro caution, 17th of the evening. I'm curious to see exactly what the heck just happened right there. I have no idea.
Yeah, 3 wide, shoots to the middle here. I did see this out of the corner of the frame. A lot of 3 wide action. Well, MDW's in it, so it's got to be further ahead than this. There's Meza. Oh, Beard just loses it on his own. And then MDW overshoots the corner, and then the 37 gets him. Yeah, so 2 separate incidents, in fact. Yeah, let's see Beard. Yeah, just lost it on his own off of turn 4. I don't think there's any contact. Just around goes the 25.
Well, I'll say this, Morgan. I mean, even the best can screw it up. Not trying to take a shot at MDW because he could literally run laps around me here at North Wilkesboro. But there you see James Beard. Looks like he just kind of got loose off 4, came down, hits the inside retaining wall. But MDW, I mean, one of the best. The points later coming into the night.
So one thing to keep an eye on
snake bit right
here is it flattens out kind of right where he entered. There's an apron portion where you come off a pit road. And if you hit it wrong, if you dip the left front tire on that part, it'll de-wedge the truck and free you up. Like you can kind of see it right there. He hit that spot with the tire and it spun him around. And then he tried to save it back up across the racetrack, almost had it, but Raul Meza got in the back of him. And obviously Brandon New was part of that as well. So just a driver at the end of a race really trying to get some. And he missed just by probably 2 feet and got onto that flat part and around it went.
Yeah, unfortunate to see that for MDW back there in the 22nd spot. So he's hoping for a parking lot to end up happening, which is possible. 25 laps to go. Could end up having a little parking lot party here at North Wilkesboro. The pace lights is out. They are doubled up, working their way into turn number 3 with 25 laps to go. Lucas Lyons is the leader. Nick Sacco up top. Luke Smith, Matt Lee, Brandon Schumann, the top 5. A couple of these guys looking for their very first win of the season to lock themselves into the playoffs. This could get interesting. Green flag back in the air. Off turn 2. Lyons has it. Here comes Suck on the outside. He's up into the fence.
And as I was saying last time, driver to watch here, Matt Lee got the freshest tires of your top 5, and he is up to 4th spot and hunting on the high side. Caution out once again. Maybe we should just stop talking about tires. Isaac Bevan's around in turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just throw that out the door. Isaac Bevan ends up going around 27. Was there help? Was there not? I mean, Morgan, I mean, literally, I mean, I would say it's a damn coin flip at this point. We've seen guys driving there, get spun around, and we've also seen them mainly here lately just locking down the brakes and they're just looping it around. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, literally, it's a coin flip. Why some of these guys are going around? You see Bevan. What happened? Was there help?
Yeah, Montgomery got loose. Yeah, for sure. I don't think Montgomery expected to be 3 wide. Oh, he definitely did not expect to be 3 wide. And I think he kind of got scared that the 3 just jammed it up the bottom, and he tried to move around, and obviously Bevan got the worst of that. But that's just late racing. There's really not much you're going to do about that. Because, yeah, like right there, 24 doesn't cover the bottom. And all, car there. And also one on the outside. Around he goes.
Car there. And he's gone.
I've been there. I've been the guy who's like, there's a car low. Didn't see him. And then you correct, and you either wreck yourself or you can wreck the guy on the outside if you're 3 wide. So, race deal. Happens. Had a lot of those
That's how
tonight.
You do it,
That's
Morgan.
just short track racing.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Just blame it on somebody else. That's how you do it, Morgan. Just blame it on somebody else. Blame it that it's their fault, right?
It's easy to blame someone else when you're up here in the booth, let me tell you.
Exactly. No, that's why I like being up here. So, hey, one other thing I was going to talk about as well, you were talking about, or we was talking about that Pocono race on June 20th. There's a reason why I bring up June the 20th. And it's kind of weird as we are. I think we're actually getting ready for a restart right here. But June 20th, if you look at that date, I believe I may not be here that day because, and there's no guarantee, but for some reason or another, I'm looking at June the 20th, and there's a reason why I think that may be when my son's going to come. Doing a little bit of math. Well, doing a little bit of math on the side and everything else. There's a little bit of math on that. I'll explain that here in a second. But while we got the opportunity, it's 19 to go. We're short on the 20 to go. So if we can, let's hit it with the Premier Racing setup. 20 to go. There it is. Obviously, Premier Racing Setups. You need one, you know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com. And obviously, enter the code of NASRA or Jake57. Get 15% off your entire order. And if you want the setups that are Redneck Announcer races, check them out. PremierRacingSetups.com. Another caution is out. Keith Haiti in the 57 or 87, not the 57. I drive that. The 87 goes around. I am so messed up here. But the 87 ends up going around. Was there contact?
Yes, there was.
Yes. It looked like Haiti come up, Morgan.
Yeah, you also don't expect a driver to be in the middle of the backstretch like that. You expect them to track out to the wall. So, yeah. Again, I've been a part of that. I've been the driver off the wall. I've been the driver who gets turned off the nose. What do you do? Just short track racing.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, you see it right there. It looks like Haiti is coming up. Huck probably coming down a little bit. There's your contact, and it ends up going around.
You would expect Huck to be at least on the highest dash mark, centered or further to the right, but he had all 4 tires below that hash mark, and you just don't expect that. And there's not a lot of time to get the wheel straightened out off these corners.
Well, folks, we're gonna cut real quick to another ad. A great sponsor here with NASRA, Murph's Magical Creations. We'll hit that ad for you right here. It's Fly My Murph out there. Go Unicorn, go! Here you go, Murph.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Well, folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro. Lions Lee up here on the front row. Hey, real quick, that little math that I was talking to you about a second ago. Okay, due date for little man is July the 11th. 3 weeks before that is June the 20th. Well, obviously, me and my wife, we have twins that didn't make it. He's the third one. There's your math. Green flag is in the air. Lions up at the front. Matt Lee right behind him trying to give chase. Devin Painter on the outside. Sacco on the bottom. Kermit and Tristan Bruce trying to run him down. But Morgan, I'm telling you, he was talking about Matt Lee. He may have a shot on Lucas Lyons right here at North Wilkesboro.
The 88's going to have to make that truck very, very wide here because Matt Lee is on the move. Here we go coming off of turn number 2 here. 44's a little bit loose. Does have 33 laps on these tires. We're 3 wide behind him. Tristan Bruce way to the bottom. Almost in the grass is the 3 machine. Merck on the outside. We're spinning behind him. Oh, don't back up. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, back up. Hold your brakes. Josh
hold the brakes.
said in the live chat a while ago, hold your
This
brakes.
is
I'm
a
paraphrasing.
PSA to drivers. Hold the brakes when you crash the vehicle, please. Anyway, just had to say that because we see it all the time across all of iRacing. Hold your brakes. Anyway, we're back here.
Hell, we see it. Hell, we see it in real racing.
There's some beef
Hold
in
your
there
brakes.
somewhere, but MDW's had a rough night here tonight. Really trying to roll that high side, and it's not working for him at this point in the race. I don't know where this started.
Right there.
Right there. Yep, that's where it started.
Mongo gets Bevan. Bevan comes down. Schumann gets involved. There goes Mongo. He comes up.
Oh, Broadfoot got lucky. Just about got hit.
Damn. Oh, yeah. And there you see Schumann, like you were talking about. Schumann throws it in reverse, coming back down the track, something that you don't do. I know you want to try to get off the wall and everything, but Morgan, you can, Morgan, you can chime in on this. Obviously, like I said, we've raced before. Right there, you don't do that right there. Be predictable. Be predictable when you're out there on the racetrack. You're right there up against the wall, and you just hold the brakes, much like what Buzzy Mongold's doing right there. Buzzy's doing it perfect. Schumann back it up. Be predictable and let other drivers, see that you're stopped. They will be able to go around you safely. Now, here's the thing. Morgan, you can back me up on this. It's happened plenty of times where you'll be stopped on the racetrack and they'll still come in and clean you out. It always, for some reason or other, that always happens.
That's one of those can't win situations we saw at Kansas last week. In fact, we saw a couple drivers absolutely get cleaned out by guys who just forgot that the brake pedal existed. It happens all the time. We call that ARCA braking.
Yes.
It happens. Because it happens in... Yeah, they didn't fail, Dean. The brakes did not fail. They were never tested.
You got to test them suckers before the race starts.
You got to test them. You do not have a handbrake, Dean. That is not true.
You don't have a handbrake?
No handbrake.
No.
There's no need in these cars. No handbrake.
Look at this right here. They're door banging right here before the restart. Matt Lee.
Oh, he turned him. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my
What is going on here?
Third lines at the start, and they're 3 wide for third. Lines
Here comes Painter.
Up Devin Painter may steal one.
And here comes the 3. Look at Tristan Bruce to the inside. And we know Tristan Bruce, and the caution's out again. Bruce will not be afraid to move Lucas Lyons as Matt Lee just was. What just happened?
Oh my gosh, was that Buzzy Mongo that ended up going around again, or no, Brandon Broadfoot?
He missed the last one. Wasn't so lucky this time.
Well, we got to go all the way back. I mean, we'll get the Broadfoot deal, but we got to go all the way back to that restart right there, Morgan, because I saw it when we were sitting there talking about the ARCA braking and everything else, and then you got Lee right here. We'll go back to the Broadfoot thing in a second, but this right here, I am sorry. What what the heck are these guys doing? What are they doing? Why are we doing this right here? I know why, Morgan. We got beef already. I got beef here. I know why Lee's doing it. Lee's getting right up on his door because he's wanting to be able to see when Lucas is going to gas up and try to hear his engine for the restart to try to be able to jump in there and be at that right time. I get that. But he is, yes, Dane, that's what they're trying to do, to be able to hear the RPMs of the truck right beside of you. That's why they do that. But don't be so close to him where you come off of the corner, you're right there on his left rear, and you're going to end up spinning him around.
Yeah, I counter that.
Too much.
I counter that with, I think he was trying to run him up the racetrack, like be right on his door into the corner, so that the inside line had the preferred line. Because remember, we've seen the outside be able to roll at 3 wide there, little arrow off the nose of the 52. I don't know. That's a tough. That's another just racing incident. But on back to the restart there, the 44 is just trying to make sure the bottom is open so we can widen out the entry a little bit, make sure Lyons is up the hill. Remember, Lyons on the old tires as well, trying to defend, so he doesn't want to be up there. And I think Lee just kind of lost track of where he was. Lyons got a good jump, and Lee might have panicked a little bit and caught him in the left rear, just about spun him. But good news for Lucas, able to hold it and retain the lead here.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to be honest with you, I counter that as well. Maybe it was both of them. Maybe he's doing both of them, trying to listen to the RPM and also, like you're saying, kind of run him up the hill a little bit as well. But when you run, I mean, he's got to come down sooner or later.
Right.
There, Morgan. If he doesn't come down, he's going to hit the damn wall.
Didn't give him any room to round the corner. So yeah, that's a tough one. And I understand what he was trying to do. I think he just didn't quite execute it properly. Oh, we got him again. Tristan Bruce just got Lucas Lyons. Might have some beef after this one as well. But 3 laps to go here, and that's a shootout.
Yeah, it is a straight-up shootout right there. They were all trying to gun after Lucas Lyons. Remember Kansas? Remember last week? There is beef right here between Tristan Bruce and Lucas Lyons. Will there be retaliation here at Wilkesboro? 2 to go. Lyons up here. Tristan Bruce gives him the tag. Goes down to the bottom. He turns.
Oh, they both wrecked.
The bottom, both of them. He goes down on the bottom side. No caution yet on the racetrack. They're going to come to the white flag. Final lap. Bruce and Lyons trying to get back going. Matt Lee has the lead coming off of turn number 2. Matt Lee goes into 3 and 4. He is going to get a gift from Tristan Bruce and Lucas Lyons. Matt Lee will win at Wilkesboro in a dramatic finish. Wow, what a finish that we just saw. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, if there wasn't beef before, well, I'd say that there's a little bit of beef there now. Just a block you cannot make. I understand that Bruce dove to the inside, but you can't make that block because you know you're going to get turned. You know he's not going to lift for you. Yeah, that's a tough way to end a race as the driver who led the final 40 laps up until the white flag.
I am speechless. Wow.
And that's hard to do, folks. It's hard to make, Jake the Redneck announcer, speechless.
You damn right. That is hard right there to make me speechless after what we just saw right there. One of the most dramatic finishes this season for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. And Matt Lee comes away with it, stage 2 winner. Walk me through this right here, Morgan. Walk me through this whole deal. There's Tristan Bruce, there's Lucas Lyons, Lee right behind them.
So this
Walk
is a
me
move.
through all this.
This is a move we've seen Tristan Bruce do at least 3 or 4 times today. Is he gets a great run to the outside and goes straight to the bottom because now Lyons is in a bad spot, and as soon as the 3 goes to the bottom, Lyons tries to block it. But this isn't Daytona, it isn't Talladega. There is no runoff area. If you block it and you miss, there's nowhere for them to go. They have to go into your left rear. That's just where the racetrack ends up. So you pretty much, if you're Lyons, you just have to let him have the spot here on the bottom and just try and race him off the exit. You can't try and beat him into the entry. And the good news for Lyons, if there is any, is that he did finish ahead of Tristan Bruce. I know he needs all the points he can get based on where he was in the points, but he just gave up what, 28 points in that situation? So 18 points in situation? I mean, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, but Morgan, I will counteract that if I may, real quick. I will counteract that. Say Lyons doesn't block and say he just runs in that line that he was running down the backstretch and going into 3. Bruce went all the way down the bottom. I mean, was they screwed either way? Even if Lyons just ran right there in the middle, because Bruce shoved it in there, he was going to knock him out of the way regardless.
Well, I think he was going to get hit. I just don't think he was going to get spun. Like, I don't think he was going to win the race once that move was made, but he probably wasn't going to finish 18th either. And when you're racing for points and you need all the points you can get, these ones hurt.
Yeah, that one's going to sting right there, and obviously it will be the water cooler talk for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series for next week, easily going into Charlotte. Once again, we see how Matt Lee got the lead and the win, and there's the race results. Matt Lee will come away with the win in dramatic fashion, with both the leaders wrecking, coming to the white flag. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson will come on second. Devin Painter, good run for the 99. For the C.O.P.S truck, 99, he will finish third. Nick Sacco, fourth. Jeff Merck, a good finish for him. Behind Lucas Lyons, that helps Jeff Merck try to help himself to get into that top 20. So good run for Merck. Try to get some momentum going to Charlotte next week. He will finish fifth. Stephen Thomas will finish sixth. Kermit Luke Smith will get seventh. John Freeman will get eighth. Adam Newton comes home with ninth. And your stage 1 winner, Dustin Scruggs, rounds out the top 10.
Isaac Bevan hung out around the top 10 all day. He will finish just outside of it in 11th. Mr. High, Wide, and Handsome, MDW, the three-peat did not happen. 12th for driver 21. Matthew Montgomery finishes 13th here tonight. Raul Meza with a pretty decent run here, up 16 spots. He finishes in the 14th position. Keith Haney was a pinball for a lot of this race, got used up quite a bit. He finishes 15th. Dane Hagen in 16th. Matt Cherry finishes 17th. Huck Wigington, the good 18th place finish. Lucas Lyons in 19th after leading, coming to the white flag. And Brandon New rounds out your top 20.
Tristan Bruce comes home 21st, the last driver to finish on the lead lap with that contact between him and Lyons. He will finish 21st here this evening. The rest of these drivers one lap down or more. Brandon Broadfoot finishes 22nd. Brandon Schumann will get 23rd. Give 23rd to Matthew Cummins, 24th to Buzzy Mongo, 25th or 26 actually to James Beard. Mongo got 25th. Jose Luis Rivera gets 27th. Cody Knott 28th. Robbie Richards will finish 29th. The last driver to take a time here tonight. TJ Moore was your race director. Ed Osborne just wanted to stick around and watch the show. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, round up those podium finishers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Well, folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro. We got the podium finishers in the house. And as always, we start with the winner. Matt Lee gets the win here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Matt, talk us through that whole deal. Coming to the white flag, Bruce Lyons up there battling. They wreck. You slide by them. You get the win. Congratulations on the win, but tell us about that whole last lap and a half that you saw unfold right in front of you.
Yeah, you know, me and Tristan started side by side, and we were in Discord there, and, you know, I knew he had a little fresher tires, and I'd slid the rears a little. So, I mean, he had me beat. So I kind of told him, I was like, if you get the run here by me, I'm going to let you go. And he got the run on Lucas and got down there, and I was like, take whatever chance you can at him. and he got under him, and Lucas just turned down. And I hate it for Tristan. He ran a good race there, and that win was definitely his. But you take him when you can get him.
Morgan.
Yeah, a little earlier, we saw you restarting in second on the bottom beside Lucas, and kind of slipped up, just about turned him, turned his left rear there. What was the process there, running right up to his door, and what was the goal of that restart?
I was really just trying to hold him up there at the top. I mean, I noticed like every time he'd get to the restart zone, he was trying to turn across the middle to shorten it up. So I was really just trying to hold him up there, and I thought about letting him come around with it when he made contact with the right front, but I got out of it. I lost a bunch of spots, and got lucky and made him up.
Well, Matt, you come home with the win here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Charlotte is next week, so your take. I mean, what are we feeling when we go to Charlotte next week with this little North Carolina swing, and then obviously when you get done with that, obviously thank your sponsors and any shout outs.
Yeah, I like Charlotte. You gotta be patient. You gotta be there at the end. Especially with this truck, you can't get no aero damage on the 1.5 miles. So it's really important to have some speed in it still at the end. I really haven't worried about the beginning of these races too much. You got to be there at the end to win them, and that's the mentality right now. Build those playoff points. And big shout out to Blanchard's Towing. You guys doing the broadcast, Brady and the guys, TJ up in the booth. Good fun tonight.
Well, good fun tonight for Matthew Lee. He comes home with the win. A lot of heartbreak, a lot of sorrows, a lot of tears thrown out there, but Lee ain't cried. If he's cried, it's joyful tears. Matt Lee, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Appreciate it, boys. Cheers.
Cheers. I think he's going to have him a cold one after that one, and I do not blame him. One driver also finishes second here tonight. I'm sure he's going to have him a couple of cold lights, being for Blue Light Racing, which is Tiny Horse. Ryan Johnson comes home second. Ryan, congratulations, buddy. I'm telling you, I don't know. We were talking right before we went live. You were just like, damn, like it worked. Are you surprised that you got second here tonight, or are you just happy, or do you feel like you probably had a shot to try to at least win this thing?
If I had better track position, I think I would have had a better shot. I think the cars just didn't fall right tonight. We started kind of up front, tried to stay up there as best we could. We got some stage points in the first stage, and we pit, and I knew it was going to be kind of hectic getting back in the field, which it was. And I mean, I made some mistakes, and a bunch of stuff happened back there. I just tried to fix the truck up best I could. And, I feel like I had to pass 100 trucks tonight, probably more, with how much I had to pit to fix damage and all that. I'll take second for sure. I think Lucas could have made a better choice there, but I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think he'll learn from it. And what I was talking about with it worked. We haven't had power at my house in over 24 hours, so I'm doing all this on a generator with I got a shop light up on the wall and a little touch lamp on the floor here. So I couldn't find the link for it, but it's all right. I'm happy to come away with the second when I thought I wasn't even going to be able to race tonight.
Yeah, unreal dedication for driver 38. And it seems like every time we have a strategy race, which this one ended up kind of turning into a strategy race there at the end, you always seem to be up at the front. And we noticed tire wear was so aggressive tonight. You could easily pass, well, maybe not easily, you could pass drivers with about 15 lap old tires, or 15 lap newer tires, sorry. Was there any thought or how did you try and set that up for the end of the race, as it seems you're pretty good at figuring out these strategies?
Yeah, I saw pretty quickly we had plenty of sets of tires tonight. So my original plan was kind of every 50, and I still have a set for the end. But once I got that damage, I was trying to fix the damage and trying to just pass as many cars as I could and keep some sort of track position. And we ended up in the lead there kind of towards the end. I think it was like 150, 160, somewhere in there. And as soon as Tristan got around us, I was like, well, we're not going to have anything for him with these older tires. So I made the choice to come down and pit, and well, he pit at the same time. So I knew we were going to have our work cut out for us, trying to make our way back through the field, which it was slow and grueling, but it did for the most part work out. We got kind of lucky with a couple restarts. We got to start on the outside, but yeah, man, it was an interesting night. I'm kind of hot, but it was fun.
And Ryan, real quick, 2 questions before you thank your sponsors and shout outs and all that good stuff. One, you talked about the generator. Is the fridge still plugged up for you to have a cold one after this?
It is, and it should be cold by now. I got it running after work, so I'll have to check after this. But yeah, we should be good with that. I want to thank Brady and everyone at Nazareth putting this on, all the admins, you guys in the booth for broadcasting every week, Josh and Huck for putting our Blue Lights team together, all my teammates, and all our sponsors, Merce Magical Creations, Concerns of Police Survivors, Starbase 1552 Comics, Florida Cabinet Distributors for being on my truck as well this whole season, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Supply and Service, and all the fans tuning in and watching us.
And Ryan, actually, the second question on that real quick before we let you go, the beef that Lyons and Tristan Bruce had last week at Kansas, do you think maybe that might have spilled a little bit over to why we saw what we saw here this evening?
I'll be honest, I don't even remember what beef that was. But I mean, there's always that chance. Drivers tend to not forget when they're done wrong. I mean, I don't know who was at fault last week, but yeah, I'm sure it's a possibility. I just hope it doesn't carry on too long. And they just start, taking each other out of positions and costing themselves, valuable points for the championship. But I'm gonna try to talk to Lucas and see where his head's at, and hopefully he can have a good week next week at Charlotte.
There you go. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson comes home second here tonight, buddy. Appreciate your time. We'll see you at Charlotte next week.
Appreciate it, buddy. Hopefully I won't have to be on a generator.
Keep your beer cold, baby. That was Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. Now we go to third place finisher, Mr. Devin Painter in the house. Devin, buddy, good drive out of that 99. Started 18th. Come home with a third place finish. Are we happy about that?
Oh, no doubt, man. Started 18th, but really more like started dead last because I was the first yellow. I looped it around off 2 by myself, so really it was starting dead last. But yeah, just really, really thrilled to have a good podium finish. Get some of these points back that I've been missing out on.
Yeah, we saw you go around a couple times here today, and then you caught up in another accident or two. How hard is it in these roller coaster kind of races where you work your way back up to the front and you get caught up in something, work your way back to the front, caught up in something? How hard is it to stay focused and keep digging throughout these races?
Oh, it can definitely be a challenge for sure, especially at a place like this. It's real hard and real tight quarters racing. So really, it was a good honest day's work tonight for sure. Just really still in kind of disbelief of how it all came to be, but just I guess it was finally good to have a lucky night.
Yeah, I mean, lucky nights is always a big thing, I guess, especially when you end up having a pretty lucky night at a short track like North Wilkesboro. And Devin, North Wilkesboro, obviously, it's been on. It's relatively new. It's not as new as some of the other tracks on here, but let's talk about Wilkesboro and what it means not only for you but for the sim racing community to come out here and race on North Wilkesboro, obviously with the revival and everything else. But just what does it mean to the sim racing community to have a historic track like North Wilkesboro come back and have it on iRacing?
Oh, it's a blast. Yeah, it was recreated really, really well. And unless you're out here doing it yourself, you can't really tell. But for people who don't know, like going down into turns 1 and 2 is actually downhill, and opposite going into 3 and 4 uphill, and just like the real deal. In the sim, you feel that. And for iRacing to be able to uh, scan this track and put it out here for the community to experience, I mean, it's a real big deal. It's a Whether you have a good race, bad race, still just being able to drive on the track, it's a real honor to do that.
Well, Devin Painter comes home third here tonight, buddy. Appreciate your time. And before we let you go, obviously this is National Police Week. Obviously, you got cops on the truck, so go ahead, thank any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to thank.
Yeah, for sure. Just want to give a shout out to Concerns of Police Survivors being Police Officer Appreciation Week. So definitely good to get them some TV time, get them known. Great to have them on the truck. And just all my teammates at Blue Line Racing. Adam kind of helped me with a few tweaks during the race to kind of get a little bit more speed out of it, so appreciate that. And all the guys, Brady and the guys, admins, people up in the booth, you guys, everybody who puts this show together, just appreciate what everybody does. So thanks, everybody.
Devin Painter comes home third here tonight, buddy. Appreciate your time. We'll see you at Charlotte next week.
All right, 10-4. Thank you.
Well, folks, that's going to do it. North Wilkesboro, awesome chef Morgan Cook. Always a pleasure working with you up here in the booth, buddy. Your take on a wild and possibly controversial finish, however you want to look at it, but your take on North Wilkesboro here tonight.
Yeah, definitely wild. Tires played a big advantage here tonight. A lot of cautions, a lot of restarts, and at the end of the day, Matt Lee got lucky, and one of them came to him. He had a fast truck all night. Don't get me wrong. He didn't. He definitely deserved to have speed up there at the front. But the top two wiping themselves out, that's a fairy tale if you're the 44 machine tonight.
Absolutely. And Dean, obviously, buddy, great production up here, buddy. Always a pleasure to see the sights and sounds that you produce here for the National 360 Racing Network. Dean, you got anything for a wild one here tonight at North Wilkesboro?
I got a couple of things. I hope the lady that's standing out in the middle of the field there is okay, the flotation lady.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about her.
And second of all, I feel for the pit crew as well, too, because if you do notice, there's no fence there. So if anybody was to go spinning off into there, all those poor pit crew peoples would get taken out. But no. Yeah, I mean, short track racing does produce a lot of cautions, but you got to be in it to win it, don't you? And Matt Lee, certainly in it to win it, 22 places up. It steals the show here.
Sometimes you got to steal the show, and sometimes you got to be in the right place at the right time. That's exactly where Matt Lee was here this evening. Folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast. Obviously, want to thank all of our great sponsors. There you see the schedule. Charlotte, Nashville, Michigan. 3 more races left. We'll have the playoff grid set going into Daytona on June the 13th. Like I said, want to thank all of our great sponsors. Obviously, the Brickyard for their sponsorship for the Brickyard 200. TLC, Premier Racing Setups, obviously Murph's Magical Creations, old Murph out there for everything that they do, DSR Electric, Blanchard's Towing, obviously A's Lawn and Landscaping, Points Poppers, Serve Pro, and obviously National Police Week, baby. COPS, Concerns of Police Survivors, all our men and women in blue for everything that they do, trying to keep us crazy people safe on a daily basis. And obviously Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott for everything that they do with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, and also the drivers for putting on a show, and the fans always coming out in numbers each and every week. For the brilliant Dean Hopton Biggles, and also for the chef, Morgan Cook, I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Said as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and folks, we're going to be in NASCAR's backyard. Charlotte Motor Speedway next Friday night, Memorial Day weekend. You cannot make this up, and you do not want to miss it. Next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live and only on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. I'll bring the beer, and we'll see you there.